Downtown Toronto. For all its cosmetic changes in the past 20 years, there are still areas that have been left untouched. Areas of a city that seem lost in a kind of time warp. Here the music still blares, the bright lights still beckon, the sidewalks are still hard enough to crack and hurt a young woman's feet. Out of sight, in the doorways and alleys of this unchanged section of the city, are the female victims of society's high demands and sometimes impossible standards. Victims who in times of need gravitate here, seeking work, solace, shelter. They come from every walk of life, from every area of the country, from every socio-economic level. If you look closely, they have many things in common. They're lonely and they're in need. Many are angry and sick. Most are victims of physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. All are running. They live where they can. Some live on the street. All of them have a dream.
All of your life, all of your life, you've been dreaming. What did you do? Where did you go? All of your life, all of your life, you've been dreaming, and you kept it all within yourself and never let it show.
In a society that must label everyone, they have many names: hookers, thieves, junkies, alkies, labels that deny these people the self-respect that is so very necessary for them to even attempt to make their dreams come true. Society tends to turn away, smug, self-satisfied, inward-looking. Society as a whole does not dream, but individuals do. 20 years ago, someone started caring. Someone started putting a small dent into the huge problem of how to help these people. Someone with a dream. Peggy Ann Walpole, a registered nurse at St. Michael's Hospital, saw the suffering and dreamt of opening a drop-in center and rehabilitation facility. It was a dream she refused to let die. In March 1965, Peggy Ann rented the beverage room of the old Atalanta Hotel with $10 down and a promise that the rest would follow. A newspaper article brought 100 volunteers to that first open house. 40 stuck it out and pitched in. And so it was that Street Haven at the Crossroads was born. Within weeks, it was operating 24 hours a day, providing coffee, sandwiches, warmth, conversation, and if needed, counseling and opportunities to break what was for most the vicious pattern of street life. The goal was simple: to help each woman achieve the greatest degree of independence and self-respect of which she is capable at any given time. From the beginning it worked. Volunteers advised, made medical appointments, arranged for skills training programs and job interviews, and much of the time just listened. Funding came through the United Church of Canada, the Addiction Research Foundation, Eaton's, Metro Toronto, and many private donors. By 1966, Street Haven's Day Center had found new space at 2 Turali Street, where the Eaton Center now stands. Here began the first of a long list of innovative programs designed to help prepare women for entry into society. Legitimate work gives people self-respect and helps them to feel that they're contributing, not just taking. With this in mind, Street Haven volunteers initiated the idea of a tea room, to be open to the public and to be run by the women who came through Street Haven. A positive experience, offering them the opportunity to learn basic skills vital to their re-entry into society. Skills like shopping, food preparation, waitressing, and handling of cash. The tea room was a tremendous success. At the same time, 1966, Peggy Ann rented a home on Winchester Street near Torrally and opened it to scores of women who had nowhere else to stay. Over the next 3 years, as many as 17 women at a time found shelter here. Many, however, weren't ready for change and drifted back to the streets. But there were also many successes. Of the over 200 regulars dropping by, 50 had either found jobs or had started job training. Every day it remained open. Street Haven became more and more what Peggy Ann Walpole dreamed it would become, a bridge between life on the street and entry into everyday society. But still, so much more needed to be done. In 1969, the board of directors purchased this house at 87 Pembroke Street, a Victorian mansion surrounded by trees and flower beds in the heart of downtown. It has become a symbol of hope, a place to find a meal or a friend, or just a quiet place to sit and think. Here, everything could be contained under one roof: counseling, shelter, and all the various programs. At Pembroke Street, Peggy Ann and her staff were requested to set up a 4-month experimental detoxification center for women in cooperation with the Addiction Research Foundation, the first of its kind ever. The next project, in 1971, was a direct result of the women who had been helped at Street Haven, utilizing their newfound independence to help others. An Opportunities for Youth grant was received by them to operate a summer cottage at Tea Lake in Northern Ontario for incarcerated women at West Detention Centre and Vanier, women who were, for the most part, long-term drug addicts. Ultimately, Tea Lake was more than an experiment. It was an opportunity for everyone to win, for everyone to make a new beginning. And new beginnings require risk-taking, hard work, and most of all, time. This is especially true of long-term drug addicts. Tea Lake planted the seed for something even bigger. Peggy Ann Walpole's next dream led to opening a long-term rehabilitation center 70 miles north of Toronto in Beaverton. Purchased in 1976, Grant House provided an answer. Here, away from the threats and temptations of street life, women experience not only a home-like atmosphere, but learn the give and take of family living. They learn decision-making techniques. They're counseled in both groups and one-on-one. They learn to give through volunteer work. They learn the proper use of leisure skills. And they learn to go out into the community and work and contribute. One program that took place here during the first year involved the residents of Grant House operating a dry cleaning service in Beaverton. It worked because they were trusted, and they knew they were trusted. The staff at Grant House also urged them to get involved in community programs like Girl Guides and canvassing for the blind, all the while overseeing, counseling, and setting examples. Slowly but surely, the residents learned how to deal with average, everyday society. At its heart, what Grant House truly offers a resident is an opportunity, an alternative way of living, a chance to live independently of drugs and alcohol. Grant House operates on the theory that there is some good in all people, and the staff there build on that belief, nurturing it, providing the tools of change for those capable and willing to change, helping self-respect to grow. It's a long and arduous mission, but it works. Since its opening in 1976, 260 women have come through Grant House with an average stay of 6 months each. Many are today working in society, responsibly and effectively. At the hub of it all, however, is Street Haven, overseen by a 10-member board of directors, each of whom is a unique and special person. Not only do they decide policy and money management, they also get personally involved, utilizing their own special skills to advance the needs of Street Haven residents. In addition to the work done here, every year several students involved in social services and addiction counseling courses are supervised by Street Haven staff as part of their course training procedure. The Haven is operated by a team of 7 staff members and a strong core of volunteers who come from every segment of society. What they have in common is dedication, involvement, and caring. At its most basic, Street Haven is a grassroots, frontline drop-in center and short-term housing facility open to women in need of immediate help, be it shelter, food, clothing, or just someone to accept them as human beings, talk with them and call them by name. The door is always open. Here the staff and volunteers accept them as they are. They're not judged. They're viewed only as human beings in need of help. What takes place here is a litany of love. The staff and volunteers have seen their charges give birth. They've held funeral services for others. They counsel, talk, listen, laugh, cry, hug, and truly care about these women. They go to court with them and visit them in jail. They help them through detox periods. They help get them into retraining programs, schools, and jobs. They help them hunt for rooms and apartments. Set an example, showing these women that the larger society is often a forgiving one, hoping that they will choose the right path to follow. And at the same time, they understand that no one can legislate change in anyone's life. All they can do is show them the way. Each woman must choose of her own accord and in her own time. She must believe within herself that her dreams can come true. And dreams do come true, but not without hard work, a lot of planning, and sometimes a broken heart or two. In the end, it's worth it. Dreams don't die. Today, Street Haven is still unique, still providing a service that is overworked, but for the most part, extremely effective. Someday, to ensure that dreams don't die, there must be more places providing concentrated opportunities for both long and short-term residents, for counseling, skills opportunities, and education, for single women, mothers with young children, battered and abused women, alcoholics, drug addicts, and all the many others. While Street Haven is doing as much as it can, the need is still so very great for funds, for volunteers, for materials and supplies. "20 years ago, Street Haven was founded in the belief that all people have the right to feelings of dignity and self-worth, no matter who they are or where they come from. It was founded in the belief that all people are worthwhile, and that society as a whole has the obligation to recognize that fact, to feel the responsibility and to do something about it. Because if society doesn't do something, it becomes an accomplice in the very crime it turns its back on. 20 years later, these beliefs are still alive at Street Haven. The dream has grown. The work goes on. Here, success is measured by how well one message is absorbed. The volunteers, the staff, the women who come through the program and stay to help, pass that message on. It isn't what you dream or how, but that you keep the potential, the possibility of dreams alive.
All of your life, all of your life, you've been dreaming. What did you do? Where did you go? All of your life, all of your life, you've been dreaming. And you kept it all within yourself and never let it show. All of my life, all of my life, I've been dreaming. And I kept it all